Welcome to Spirituality Explained for the Average Joe, where I take one spiritual topic and cover it for you in a short video to explore life's greatest questions.
And we don't know what really is.
Like, who are we?
For the kingdom of heaven is within you.
And what are we? Where did we come from?
The time of conception.
Why are we here? And where are we going? So you want to start a meditation practice. Guys, I see this just like when you're working out at the gym. It's like, there's all these benefits that lie ahead if you actually show up and go to the gym, and you're going to feel great. But so many of us across the world struggle with going to the gym as a daily routine. Just like when you have this New Year's Eve resolution and we are going to make this massive change and effort, and yet most of them all fail. I wouldn't even call a New Year's resolution what it is anymore, because it's more apt to fail. Why? Because we're not putting in the preparation and the mindset before we start something. So this video today is to help you get on your meditational journey the correct way. And if you think about it, all of us psychologically kind of work the same way, right? Like, we've probably walked around in the past saying, I should, go to bed earlier. I should eat less. I should drink less. I should meditate more. I should go to the gym. Ugh, the shoulda world. Like, living in the shoulda world sucks. It's a nasty feeling knowing that you're not doing what you're supposed to do to be your highest self, right? And it sounds like right now, if you're watching this, you're in this space where you're ready to take action. What a great thing. And so I'm going to help us try to prepare to take the action mentally in the best way that we can. Okay, guys, number one, why do you want to meditate? Really get that clear. Get it real clear. The big why. The why's got to be the biggest driving force behind why you're going to take the leap and start something and actually not stop it. What are the benefits that you're going to get from the meditation, right? Like, you must be wanting to do it for something. Because at 7 a.m. when you're supposed to get your butt and put it on that meditation pillow and there's a million things going on, you got to have a big why to show up daily. So is it for stress relief? Is it so you can show your love and devotion to God? You got to write it down and you got to get specific, because when I wake up at 7 a.m., I can't just go, it's stress relief. That's not going to get my bum in the chair every day, day after day. It's got to be like a clear goal. Like, it's stress relief because when I'm stressed, I feel like an anxiety bubble and I'm walking around with negative thoughts and I'm bitching to people and I treat my kids like shit. Like, it's really overwhelming. My life is a mess and I've had enough. It's got to be one of those moments, because it's got to be big enough to get your bum in the chair. Next thing you need to remember is expect nothing. Go back to number one, which is, why in the world are you doing this, right? So go into your meditations expecting nothing. Expectations is one of the biggest reasons why most people get so let down in life, right? So throw them out the door and go to number one. Why am I doing this? It's like digging up a seed after you plant it to see if it's germinated yet. It takes some time, guys, so expect nothing from your meditations at first. Here comes a really big one, guys. Prepare to do it daily, every single day, no matter what. Preferably at the same time every day. Daily, 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 no matter what. Even if it's just like, all I've got is 3 minutes. Well, then do just 3 minutes, but do it good and do it deep. Set the time aside. Most people would say in the morning is the easiest. It usually is. Even before you do anything else. Like, okay, I'll be honest, like, I'll go to the bathroom because that'll help me relax. But I really do. I try not to even pick up my phone in the morning. That's probably what a commitment. I challenge you to do that. My meditations are so important to me that I won't even allow myself to pick up and look at that phone that's a bomb of everything waiting to go off until after I've meditated. How powerful is that? That's a good one. Another reason to do it daily, guys, is that we're working with some type of biology, spectrum of light, energy crap we don't understand. And guess what? It works just like everything, which is it gots to get used to it. It's gots to get used to it. Your body is going to start to recognize, oh, wow, we're bringing the attention up again. Okay, I'm going to relax again. Everything is going to fall, just like your circadian rhythm when you're sleeping. Your body is going to know what you're doing. So, in fact, when you close your eyes and, all those spiritual fun things that can happen in meditation that your body's going to begin to realize, and that God's going to start sending the blessings to you, it's going to more likely happen if you're doing it daily. If I go into a meditation after a cold 3 days of not meditating, I feel like, I've got to put a lot more effort in just to really feel like I'm there, because it's already so much of the every daily vibrations of centering everything, your energy up here has left and gone. So the daily part is crucial. Here's one to really keep your efforts organized, is you open with an intention and you close with an intention. And they can usually be the same thing, right? And I kind of see these opening and closing intentions as like an intention, exactly as it says, or kind of like a prayer, right? Like many people may go into it with a specific worry or problem already going on in their lives. Well, then that might be more of a prayer intention, like, oh, I'm sitting here on this pillow because I do want to lose some of the anxiety and stress and surrender it to a higher power, right? So go with that intention. Ask for help if you'd like to, especially if you need to get it off your chest before you need to go into a state of not carrying it on your chest, right? That's the intention. And at the end, reaffirm how good you feel and where you're at with that. In that little tiny short span of your meditation, you actually gave that problem the room to breathe, and it's probably out there fixing itself only because you gave it that time. Like you actually surrendered it, so it's fixing itself. It's the book ending it, right? So it's saying everything from this moment on is going to be intentional and directed, because trust me, the monkey brain needs the direction. And at the end, it also always, you're in a great clear spot at the end of that meditation to really capitalize to the world what it is that you want or what it is that you were going for, okay? My intentions and affirmations, they're usually prayer-centered based on how I practice, but they're always for like my career, my love life, or sometimes it's just like, gee, please help me go deep in this because I'm all over the place and I know I'm wasting my time if I'm not sincerely going deep. So I'm trying to be sincere at the beginning so I know that it's going to play off into the meditation when I'm wanting to do something else. No, I'm sincere now and I'm going to close with sincerity. Speaking of knowing your goals during your meditation, make sure and check out my video about the spiritual eye, because you may just have some high aspirations for it after you watch it. Link below. Next and most important is have a plan. This is probably the number one thing that I think maybe some people say, I can't meditate, like my mind runs everywhere, or I don't know what do I do, you know, what do you do? And that's right, like we are literally now conditioned in this modern 2021 age to have like a million things happening. And our brains are literally on like a 2-second circuit. Like we can have 6 screens in front of ourselves and we're still not happy. So the programming is working against us. So we're doing our intentions and we're closing with our intentions. But what the heck are you doing in between that time, right? You should have an idea of what you're going to do. Lucky for myself, I come from a spiritual community where our guru has set very specific things that we do. We exercise for 15 minutes before we sit down, and then we do a breathing technique, and then we do like a listening technique, and then we do another type of breathing technique. It's called Kriya Yoga. And then after that, which is about 35 minutes into the meditation, that's where our meditation begins, because now we're clear. Now we're like this open vessel where we really just feel like, you know, for me, I feel like everything is so quiet and I'm so settled that I could actually talk to God, or I could actually say a prayer, or actually try to go off into the nothingness, which is what people try to do when they meditate, when they want to have like no thought at all, actually. So I'm lucky. I have a very set thing of every day I have to do the same thing, and it's in order, and it fills up a good hour of my day if I can allow it. So for you, you may want to say, okay, for the first 5 minutes, I'm going to breathe, and all I'm going to do is watch my breath. Okay, that's great. You may want to affirm things, or, you know, mantra meditations, or you may just want to listen to the air conditioning. There's so many different types of meditations out there. That's not what this video is about. Maybe spend a few minutes finding out what it is you're going to do in the time that you actually are meditating. So that way you won't beat yourself up for not having a successful meditation. And there are no bad meditations. That brings me to the next most important one, guys, is treat yourself like a puppy dog. Yeah, I remember when monks would say that always when we're meditating or just talking about how to meditate. It's probably one of the best things I've taken away from being in a spiritual community is your mind is now like this sweet puppy, and you're gonna lovingly bring it back every time it runs away, and it'll run away and irritate you, and you're gonna wanna strangle it. But it's a sweet little puppy dog, and you're never mean to a puppy dog, right? So the mind wanders, bring it back. The mind wanders, bring it back. This is also kind of the same topic of self-love. Like meditation, we're so apt to beat up on ourselves and try to measure it when it's one of the hardest things to do, right? So this is one time you're actually gonna be like, okay, I'm not maybe good at self-love, but I'm gonna practice self-love. I'm doing a good job. I took the time out today to meditate, even though I thought about like, all I had to do today for the past 5 minutes and that's all I did. That's still a form of self-love. Like, really be kind. Like, I'm gonna let go of that. It's okay, because at least I sat down for 5 minutes. Self-love, guys, it really starts with, I'm putting me here and this is the best I could do with it. But I guarantee you, in those 5 minutes, you probably thought about everything you need to do. At least you cleared that out and it's ready to get done in a more precise way than if you just would have ran out the door. Just saying. Some of the more obvious things, guys. Since you're doing this daily, it's good to pick a spot to meditate, like an actual location. Pick the same spot, because you're going to impregnate that spot with your vibrations. Like, you've got a sleeping vibration in your bedroom, on the couch you probably have a television vibration, your office desk working. So this spot is going to be for meditating. And guys, you don't have to sit in a like on the floor. In fact, most Westerners that meditate, we sit in chairs. So you could just sit you could sit in a chair. The only thing that matters about the spot that you pick for your meditation is that your spine can be straight. That's the one thing I'm not going to be kind to you on, because, and trust me, my posture's like this every day, but I've really had to work on it. Got to have a straight spine, because that's where the magic lies. That's where all the energy is going to flow up and down. So I don't care where you sit, whether it's on the floor or on a chair. The only thing that really matters is that you're able to have that straight spine. You've got to hang all your body weight. That's how I think about it. Everything hangs off the spines. Wear something comfortable, very loose. You know, put the dog out. Get rid of all your distractions. Turn off your cell phone, for goodness sakes. I actually love making myself comfortable. So when I meditate, I always have a blanket of some sort around. And I like to put it over my shoulders, or even maybe over my head. Depending if I'm in public, I'll go with one over my head. There's a lot of physiology stuff we're trying to do when we're meditating. We're asking our body to do a lot. That means we've got to prepare it before you sit down and expect magic to happen. You may want to do some exercising, some stretching. Yoga, who'd have thought that yoga, that very popular exercise that we all do across the world, is actually for something. It's for preparation for meditation. No, you don't need to do an hour-long yoga class, but at the very least, if I had to just jump into a meditation, I would tense my body and let it out, breathe in and breathe out a lot, just shake everything out. You really want to go into it, don't drink too much coffee beforehand, and preferably don't even eat for 30 minutes, but do the best you can with it. Another thing that helps get those jitters gone and move before you meditate, because trust me guys, if we're doing this, we want to have intentional meditations that are magical and our body is producing and doing things that we've never felt or could even imagine before. We got to set it up properly. So a lot of people sing, chant, whatever. And the main reason, I think, for myself personally, I come from a temple and a church that we chant before we meditate no matter what. And it's true, the reason being is it sets you in this open, vulnerable state of mind. And for me, devotional, right? Because to me, devotion is the gas that fires meditations, but that's for somebody that's wanting to do a meditation that's very spiritually related. You could do one just for stress relief. But singing and chanting will help, because it really just focuses, again, all the body's energy is going to say, calming down. We're coming into this state and we're preparing for the state. One, be vulnerable. Yep, guys, especially for you men out there, it's time we take that ego and throw it out the door. True courage is actually putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation. So being vulnerable, that means you're surrendering, going, okay, there's something out there that knows more than me. It's probably my body, it's probably the man upstairs, but you get it, right? You've got to actually surrender. Let your body hang off that spine and really let yourself relax. And know that this little space you cut out is actually for it to do all its little healing. Your body knows what to do, and you just giving your body space and time and saying, I know you exist and I'm sitting here with you, sounds foo-fooey and airy-fairy. But thankfully in 2021, we can now all agree that's where a lot of the magic and healing lies, is really setting that time aside for ourselves. So yes, guys, be vulnerable. It takes courage to put yourself in those situations. So be courageous and be open to being vulnerable, being open to the foo-foo stuff that you're tapping into. I think I briefly hit on this topic earlier. The last thing I want you to remember is there's no bad meditations. It's kind of like saying I regret that workout, because no one said that ever, right? There are no bad meditations. It's always great. You could say I had a good meditation. People say that. And those are usually when you put the effort in, right? You didn't let the monkey mind win. You put the effort in. And those feel great, and when you have a good meditation. But Majority of us may want to beat up on ourselves by saying, I didn't have a good meditation, because it's so hard in the beginning. Your brain's going to win because you've got how many X years you've lived on this earth working against you. You're actually trying to reprogram your brain to just say, nothing is exactly what I'm feeding you. So I hope all that kind of helps. Go out of it being kind and gentle to yourself. There are no bad meditations. Stick with it. Try to avoid the yucky feeling you'll have if you get out of your meditation practices. I do it to myself quite a bit. I'm speaking from experience. I've been on and off meditating for 7 years, but I do know at least my priorities is that it is the most important part and thing I can do in my day. And I hope that you have a very good reason why you want to meditate and really stick with it when you're looking to peter out on those meditations. Okay guys, thanks so much for joining me. This is a short, quick, easy one I hope for you. And thanks so much for tuning in. Please like, follow, subscribe. There's even a bell you can hit and all these things you can do to make sure that you're watching and commenting and liking my videos. And most of all, if you could share me with someone that you think I might bring inspiration to, that would totally make my day. Thanks so much. I love you.